well to be a part of it via the usual platforms. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH as well. The number to call at the right time is 0700 923 093. If you once again, like I said yesterday, if your sense sound a little different, just a tad, sinuses are acting up, but hopefully by the end of the week or through the weekend they're going to clear completely. You're welcome again. So from now till 7, discussions are on. I hope you so far you're having a better day than mine. Sinuses are not helping at all. So things are looking up. I hope you can at least see a silver lining in the situation. Oh, by the way, some great news. For the very first time, very first time, I saw physically and I handled the new notes. I did today. Congratulations to me. It's an incredible accomplishment, I believe. Because I've seen it. I've seen it online, on websites. I've seen it on social media applications. Folks sharing videos or pictures or images of the new currency notes. But for the very first time, I got to handle them today. I saw the 1,000 naira notes, and I saw the 500 naira note as well. I actually had to do something, and then someone was to give me I went to one of them POS operators, and she gave me 2 1,000 naira notes, and she gave me she gave me two of the notes were the new 1,000 naira notes, and then one 500 naira notes, and the new one, that is, and it was it felt good. I know. I mean, you're probably wondering what's the big deal, but it felt good. I hadn't seen them before, first time today, so it felt good, And as a matter of fact, I'd like to share that experience with you. I believe I still have. I gave the new 500 naira note to some woman I purchased something from. So here's one of the new 1,000 naira notes I got today. So. Drell, if you could, I don't know if you could, Drell, can you zoom in on this if you can? I don't know, can Drell zoom in on this? So if you're watching via facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, or you're watching via Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, we're also on YouTube, by the way. Just search for Nigeria Info PH. You will see me right now holding up very proudly my new 1,000 naira notes. Yes, indeed. It looks okay, I suppose. Not much different from the previous. The colors, the colors are different. Yeah. So that's it. Okay. All right. Great. So I got mine today. However, lots of Nigerians are complaining, and interestingly, the POS lady also complained that they're not getting a lot of it. And they hardly ever get it at all. And most of the currency notes that they still have and that they're working with are the old ones. Incidentally, we're discussing that on the show today as well, but I'll tell you that later on. More on that when I get to a preview of today's show. But I hope your day's been okay as well. Welcome again. From now till 7, discussions are on. Join in. I have a side comments coming in shortly. Random stories and random thoughts that caught my attention, not to be discussed now, but much later on. I'll get your thoughts on them. I will. Yeah. So as after the 6 p.m. major news, I'll get your thoughts on my side comments and all the other matters discussed on the show today during the open season segment. So after today's side comment, I have a rant coming up. Something in my mind. I'll express some thoughts in it, and I hope to get your take on mine. Till 4. At 4 p.m., the business news is up, and discussions continue right after that. Speaking of discussions, new Naira notes as scarce as honorable that's won an election. Let me explain that. You may have got what I meant already, but for the benefit of that person who didn't get it, you know how everybody can see honorable now? Everybody. As a matter of fact, those people who don't want to see honorable is seen there by force. Honorable is calling you right now. Honorable is seeking audience with you now. Honorable is always coming around. Honorable is in love with you at the moment. Really. Seems like a secondary school boy who has a crush on a classmate and is trying to ask her out. He's everywhere. He's all over you at the moment. And then if by the time if honorable wins the election eventually, you start wondering where honorable is. Because before the election, if you look behind you, honorable was there. If you look to your side, honorable is there. Before you face forward, honorable is there again. But now Honorable wins election, you can't find Honorable again. It's nowhere to be found. Honorable becomes missing in action. You call Honorable, the number doesn't go through any longer. You hear that the number you have called does not exist. And somehow that's how. So Honorable becomes scarce, basically. And it seems that the new Naira notes are just as scarce as well. And there are concerns about that, especially as the deadline for the phasing out of the old currency notes is January 31. That's less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks to go, and folks are wondering what's going on, really. Well, the CBN has spoken on this, and they've threatened sanctions. Here's from our bulletin earlier on. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says it will go tough on banks that continue to fill their ATM machines with old Naira notes as a deadline to phase out the notes nears. Director of CBN's Legal Services Department, Kofo Salam Alada, who represented the CBN Governor, Gordon Emefiele, now spoke during a sensitization event on the new Naira notes in Computer Village Market in Lagos on Wednesday. He said the CBN is ready is already monitoring banks that are still dispensing old Naira notes from their ATMs. He, however, called on commercial banks to approach the CBN branches across the country to pick up the new Naira note. He said the new Naira notes are in the Apex Bank's vaults awaiting pickup by commercial banks. So, why are the new notes not in wide circulation? Considering, once again, we've got less than 2 weeks before the old notes are no longer legal tender. So I'll be asking you, are you concerned that the new Naira notes are not in wide circulation? Does that concern you in any way? Or maybe it doesn't bother you? You can always use your ATM card, your credit or debit cards for transactions. You can do transfers and the rest of it. Or are you concerned? I'd like to get your take on that in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll also be speaking with Ahmad Umaru. He's an ex-banker of at least 20 years experience and also a financial analyst who will join me for that conversation in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. And at 6:05 o'clock, the news update is up at 5. And after that, debates or a different kind of town hall a good thing? Are they a good idea? Debates or a different kind of town hall, are they a good idea? I'd like to get your take on this. And in case you're wondering why we're discussing debates on the show today, well, there's a debate coming up in Rivers State. It appears plans have been concluded to ensure that happens, and there was some matter. Yeah, the Rivers Debate Group, this was from our news earlier today as well. The Rivers Debate Group says it all is set for the 2023 Rivers State Governorship Debaters of the Rivers State Governorship Debate. And that sound, it seems I don't have that moment. Okay, work on that later on. Some of the partners include Nigeria Info FM, the Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta PIND, Social Action, Civil Society Organization, Stakeholders Democracy Network, Community Initiative for Enhanced Peace, and others. Yep. And once again, the debate is 1st February 2023. That's when the debate is taking place. And still on our social media pages, by the way, we're still asking you, which five of the candidates would you like to hear or see on this debate? So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them on our social media pages. We're still taking your votes, if you will, because you get to decide to determine which of them will make the final 5, which will be a part of this debate. But then again, are debates really that important? Are they necessary? A different kind of town hall? Are they, how valid are they? We'll look at this in the 5 o'clock hour. How important are political debates? But I'll also be speaking with Professor Kenneth Nwege. He's Professor of Politics and Governance at the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education. He will join me for that discourse in the 5 o'clock hour. After the update, headlines at 5:30 p.m., the major news at 6. Open season comes up after that, a recap of all the matters discussed on the show today. Lasting until about 7, the show comes to an end by then. The sports gang are in for extra time. Yes, they are. And they'll bring you all the updated news as far as happenings in the world of sports is concerned. All of that with was a dash and pin of the Arsenal greatness. Yes, indeed. Let's keep things going now with today's side comments, random stories, and random thoughts I came across as I checked out the news earlier today. Yes, indeed. And let's start with some sporting news. In case you did not know, there was a Premier League game played. Was it last night? Yes, it was last night. I think it was one of them Manchester teams. I think it was Manchester United that played yesterday. They were away. I think they were away at Crystal Palace, and in some form lately. And and I know a couple of Man U fans here at work, and they were feeling very proud of themselves, thinking that something fantastic was going to happen yesterday. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. And the Crystal Palace won, Manchester United won, and their wars have commenced once again. And this weekend is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yes, Sunday. At the Emirates, Arsenal will take on Manchester United. And Arsenal will put Man U in their place. Yes, so Arsenal will do that this Sunday, put Man U back in their place. It seems, they're getting a little hyperactive these days, so we need to remind them who's boss. Yes, indeed. And the sports guy will tell you more about that. I've got a commercial. Do I have a break coming up shortly? Do I? Let's see. Okay, maybe in a couple of minutes. I was saying, Arsenal will remind Man U who's boss this Sunday. Looking forward to that game, by the way. Absolutely. So, more side comments right now. But how about in anticipation of Arsenal's victory this Sunday? How about an Arsenal moment? Something to just whet the appetite. Prepare the grounds.
Are you up to date with ideas for
Arsenal will come return after this. Stay with us.
Diode.
Hard time dial. 26 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and conversation continues. Thanks for staying tuned. Still, some talking about how Arsenal. Incidentally, we've got some screens in the studio here. Incidentally, right now I'm seeing the highlights of Crystal Palace Man United. It was a fantastic free kick from was it Eze? I think it was Eze who played the free kick for Crystal Palace. It was absolutely wonderful, really. It was so sublime, and Crystal Palace was so unlucky not to have won that game. I mean, give it fantastic point-saving saves for Manchester United. Okay, it was Elise. It was Elise who scored the equaliser once again. Sublime free kick for Crystal Palace, and Man U were lucky to get a point from that game, but they won't be so lucky when they meet Arsenal on Sunday. Later on today, we've got another Premier League game coming up. I believe we do. Is Man City taking on Tottenham Hotspur? City expected they should drop points in that game against Tottenham. Just making things easier for Arsenal as the season progresses. Yeah. Via WhatsApp, someone says, Dio, I love football, and with all this match you're making, let's see you continue to make this match by Monday without blaming the ref or previous administration. You people will collect. Very likely that's a Chelsea fan. Very, very likely. We know them when we hear them these days. They are quite bitter. But I'm sure he feels better now. He sent this message in. This person sent this message in before I played, before we had the Arsenal moment. I'm sure that with the Arsenal moment, this person is now feeling some joy in their life. I understand. I get where you're coming from. It's tough out there these days. But the Arsenal moment makes it all better. It makes it better. I'm sure that person feels well. I'm sure Liverpool fans are feeling better right now as well after that Arsenal moment. Not the best of times for Liverpool fans also. So everyone feels better really. My concerns about the new Naira notes are these. There's nothing so new about the newness of the notes. Always done colours. Yeah, well, whatever. They're new nonetheless. I'm a forensic accountant, and I only got to see the new 500 Naira notes last night. Someone paid my wife with it, and she showed it to me. Quite ironic, and watch you could say that. Yeah, it is quite ironic. I think the new Naira notes are being substituted with old ones between bank managers and politics, allegedly. That's from Patrick. We'll discuss in some detail in the 4 o'clock, in the 4 o'clock hour. Yeah. Do I have... Hello there, it seems like you are under the weather. Get well soon. Enjoy your Arsenal moment now when it lasts. That's Kinsley from about. Yeah, Kinsley, I do feel a little funny actually. Yeah, I do, but I'll be fine, thank you. And of course, I'll enjoy the Arsenal moment. I'm sure you also enjoy the Arsenal moment, Kinsley. I'm sure you did as well. So is that it for today's side comments? I think that just might be it. I think that might be it. Well, I think I come across some funny story earlier on today, yeah, from the Punch newspaper. Yes, here it is. Nigeria is owing power bill. Yeah, Nigeria is owing for electricity consumed. In South Africa, South Africa disconnects Nigerian consulate electricity over unpaid bills. The Nigerian consulate in Johannesburg, South Africa, is currently experiencing a power outage due to the humongous electric bill owed by the diplomatic mission, leading to disconnection. Despite being denied access to the consulate, Johannesburg City Power heads came with the Metro Police Department to effect the disconnection of the power supply. Wow. So this would happen. The Nigerian consulate in South Africa is owing power bill, or simply put, they're owing NEPA bill. And then the power company in Johannesburg wanted to disconnect them, and they didn't grant it. They denied them access under the court. Does that sound familiar, by the way? Does it sound familiar? And then the power guys went back. Then they came back with police so they could get access and disconnect the consulate. Does that sound familiar? Sounds like something you see on the streets every day in Nigeria here. It's remarkable stuff. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up at all. So Nigeria is owing power bill. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the consulate is representative of Nigeria in that country. So if the consulate is owing inextricably, or by extension, the Nigerian country is owing power bill in Johannesburg, South Africa. Let's hope they pay very soon. And I hope they will pay a reconnection fee as well before the power is restored. So that will be for today's side comments. Go for a quick break. When I return, today's round comes up. Do please stay with us. Still hand back to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt, your number one talk station. I'm Dio. 28 minutes before 4 p.m. Discussions continue. I'd like to rant for a bit. I've got something in my mind. Oh yes, I do. I'd like to express some thought in it, and you're very welcome to express your thought to mine all the way till 4 p.m. Remember the story of the train attack in Edo State, where I think about 30 persons were said to have been abducted, and it was another very dark period in the history of this country. I mean, we're still reeling from the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. Several persons lost their lives, were killed, and several others kidnapped. Reportedly, humongous sums in ransoms were paid before a lot of them, received their freedom before the government were able to rescue the others who were still with, or secure the release. I'm not sure if rescue is the word to use here. Or at least some way secure the release of those who were still with them. Now, some good news has it that the last two of the abducted persons at the train station in Edo State have been rescued or released. I'm not sure which one is the right term really, but they have secured their freedom. I think is the safe. It might be a safe expression to use. So that's some good news. That is some good news, but all of this still raises some very important concern, and which forms the basis of the rant today. But here's a story from the Punch newspaper. First off, train attack, 2 rescued, 7 arrested in Edo. The Edo State government on Wednesday said that the 2 remaining Igboeben train station staff were abducted on January 7 when gunmen attacked Igboeben train station in Edo Central. Addressing the press conference after the first weekly State Executive Council meeting of the year, our Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nehikari, on Wednesday said the rescue had brought the kidnap saga to an end. He said that the state government would ensure the safety of its citizens by providing adequate security and making the state uncomfortable for criminals. He said, and I quote, "We're pleased to announce that the last 2 victims have been rescued and 7 suspects are in custody, including 2 village chiefs. We thank the press for the support they have given in the last few weeks. The Governor Godwin Obaseki-led government is ready to provide adequate security and make the state uncomfortable for criminals." Okay, like I said, it's some good news. Reportedly, all those who were abducted have been released. Once again, I'm careful to use the word rescued. I mean, really, because how were they rescued? Whenever the government or authorities use the word rescue, interestingly, they never quite explain in detail how this rescue took place. Let me explain what I mean. Remember when some American citizen was kidnapped in a neighboring African country and then brought in through the border into some northern part of Nigeria, and it's reported that some American special forces... Wait, it was reported that American citizen, I think the person is a religious person or an aid worker. I don't quite remember the details right now, but the person was rescued. Now, eventually, we got information as to how the person was rescued. U.S. Special Forces were deployed, and they stormed in there, commando style, and they rescued the person. Okay, that's information. So we know how the person was rescued. We know how the rescue took place. In Nigeria's case, nobody quite explains how exactly this quote-unquote rescue took place. They say we rescued them. How did you rescue them? Exactly. You know, did we send in special forces? Was there a sting operation? Was there a rescue mission? How were they rescued? Or did they pay a ransom fee? They were released, and while they were wandering around trying to find their way around, soldiers encountered them and took them, and that's what we call rescue. I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm asking if there was a rescue mission or operation. It would be nice if the authorities explained to Nigerians how exactly it was carried out. But one thing, I can't help but ignore as well, a story here from Channels TV explains in some detail how the rescuing quotes took place, different rescues as it were. And this is the story. 12 more victims from last Saturday's train station attack in Igboeben, Edo State have been rescued. Edo State Governor Obaseki disclosed this to journalists. able to track them and release 12 out of the 14 that were being held hostage unharmed. And the story explains how they were rescued in bunches, in tranches, as it were. 2 were rescued today, 6 were rescued, 12 were rescued. And I'm wondering once again, how were they rescued? Was the rescue taking place was there a batch A rescue and a batch B rescue, and a batch C rescue? I don't understand really, so. But maybe someday the authorities will explain in detail how this rescue took place. I even though I'm afraid, I don't know for certain, but I'm afraid I would not be surprised. Let me put it that way. I would not be surprised if we get information later on from the kidnapped victims or other family members or close associates of theirs, explaining that they actually paid ransom. I would not be surprised at all. However way it happened, the silver lining, the good news is that the last 2 of the kidnapped victims has been released, and that's a good news, and I believe everyone should be happy about that. So if that has happened and the last 2 have been released, and reportedly 7 persons have been arrested as a result of investigation into this matter, what is there possibly ranting about on this matter today? Well, I'm afraid. That's why I'm ranting today on this matter. I'm afraid that it might happen again. I'm afraid that in spite of the Abuja Kaduna train attack incident, you would think that from that incident we would have learned lessons and put measures in place to ensure it doesn't happen again. I mean, that's what you would think, right? Exactly. However, guess what? It happened again in Edo State. And the thing with criminal masterminds is this: one person commits a crime and successful. It won't be long or too long before others start feeling that they can replicate that criminal activity as well. And so it happened in Edo State. And you would think that after the Abuja Kaduna incident and after the Edo State train attack as well, you would think that the Nigerian state, the security agencies, will draw up some kind of a blueprint, will draw up some kind of a strategy, will draw up something, anything, to ensure that this does not happen again. And you will be right to think that. You should think that because you are a normal person, you are a normal human. That is how normal human beings think. That's what you should think. That they will put steps in place, measures in place, strategies, and all of that, countermeasures, name it, to ensure that criminals, by whatever name you want to call them, are not able to storm a train on a track or a train station and abduct passengers. You would think that that's what we're going to do, right? And I think so, and I hope so. I want to believe that we are doing that already. I desperately want to believe it. That the DSS, the defense, intelligence agency, the chief of defense staff, the security advisor to the president, the Navy, the commandos, everybody, NSCDC, even vigilante. I hope that they're all synergizing and working out a blueprint. And if they haven't worked it out already, because I think that blueprint should be long ready by now. And we're deploying technology and cameras and drones and all of that and strategies, to ensure. And we're deploying security personnel and we're gathering intelligence, and we're dealing with this, right? Right? Yeah. But just somehow, in spite of my extreme hopefulness, there's just some small part of me. It's just some small part of me is just telling me, just maybe, we may not have done all of these things. and it might not be too long. If we haven't, if we don't, that another incident, another similar incident happens again. I hope it doesn't. I hope that, and I'm hearing on the inside of me, is just some evil spirit that will be cast out sometime soon. I really hope so. I really hope so. I really hope so. And that's it. That's my rant for today. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts on my? Let's hear it. Lines up and call 0700 923 093. That's 0700 923 093. We're live on Facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. We're live on Twitter at NigeriaInfoPH as well. Do please keep it brief and straight to the point. And once the call is answered, do well to turn off your radio set as well, so we can have a conversation. Hello, Hot Factor, welcome. Please go ahead.
Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
How's today?
Very well, go on.
Well, this is Godwin speaking from Rumigo.
Yeah.
Speaking from Rumigo.
Go ahead.
I have carefully listened to all the analysis you have given. I really want to talk on the Kaduna train and on the Guebe train release and the kidnapping and the rest. You see, when things happen, there must be an insider. And I thank God, I give kudos to my master, Pastor K. I know he has never joked, even when we were young and we were with him during the Olympic game, and when he was our captain, he was so careful, he cares for all the athletes. So I know it has translated into his government. But the thing I'm really wondering, just as you have said, the Nigerian government has not given adequate care to all these things. Don't be surprised, you will get to know that these people that are there, it's just a cosmetic, it's just a smooth screen. They will tell us stories. If all that happened during the Kaduna, Abuja, and nobody, no single soul was picked out, they are doing their business just as their master somewhere is telling me that these are business boys. So I really don't know. It's quite a situation. The police, the security forces, can they now stand up? Don't they start this methodology, strategies of detecting criminals? In those days when we were students and we were reading James Hadley Chase, you will know James Hadley Chase.
Absolutely.
Good. By the time you know, say that you will sit in a pub, and when a criminal enters, a detective will be able to know the full step, the actions, the parameters, and everything, and they'll be able to pass information. But today, I'm sorry to say that most of our detectives are now romancing with these criminals. Allegedly, I'm saying so.
Allegedly,
of
course.
Romancing it, because if they are not romancing with them, they would have been able to make all these things. Look at the chief, they say traditional ruler of one of the things. That means there is a monkey hand in the support. Let them go through and see if they can use these 7 people that they have said they have arrested to let Nigerians know.
Great to have for me, but I do have to move on now.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution. Very welcome. 0700 93 093 is the number. Once again, we're live on Facebook and Twitter at Nigerian for PH. Your thoughts on my rant at this time. Hello, how to welcome. Please go on.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh my. Once again, numbers 0700 93 093. Great news once again. The victims of the Edo train station kidnap have all been released. I don't know if they were rescued, but I know that they've all been released, reportedly. But would that be the last that we'll hear of incident like this, especially in the short run? Hello, you're welcome.
Dayo, good evening.
All right, go ahead.
My name is Different Man. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. You see, Dayo, the problem we have in our country is that we are reactionary. We are not proactive. leaders in civilized climes are proactive. They protect their citizens against occurrence of incidents like this. They learn from previous incidents and try to, prevent it from happening. But in our country, we like managing a problem instead of preventing it from coming. It is still in the same country that we are told that our legislatures are trying to pass a bill into law that if they kidnap your relatives, you cannot pay ransom to pay them. They wanted to make the payment of ransom criminal in a country that they have not provided security. You see, how can you come up and tell me that some persons were rescued and you have not told us how they were rescued? They have rescued them and had, delivered them back to their family and mother. How were they rescued? A lot of things in this country, they just tell us, they treat us as if we are animals, we are not humans. But we are sensible and we know these persons secure the release of these people through payment of ransom.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
You don't know that for a fact, do you?
Because it's not confirmed.
Allegedly, yes.
But to be sincere with you, that is likely the case. That is likely the case.
Great to hear from you. Thank you very much. I must move on. I know those kidnapped train victims paid ransom to get their freedom. The police are only active with newspapers and television channels. Why can't they track these kidnappers with NIN? Once again, allegedly. Hello, Dai. I'm on the same page with you because this insecurity challenges facing this country has become a booming business for both security agents and our leaders. Everyone, especially good people of Nigeria, is equip themselves and forget about waiting for government for protection. And that's Abdul Ganiyu. Hello, Hafak, welcome. Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, Dayo.
Hi, go ahead.
You see, my junior one was kidnapped 3 years ago.
Wow.
And they were shared in batches. Just keep all of them one place. Some of the time they share them into 3 or 4 groups. So that is why when if they say they rescue 2 or 3, it might be a particular group.
Okay.
Or section of those kidnappers.
Was your younger one rescued?
Come again?
Was your younger one rescued?
Yeah, no, he wasn't rescued. We paid ransom. I can't.
So
we paid ransom. I'm trying to tell you about rescue.
No, I understand that, but I understand what you're saying. You said that when your younger one was kidnapped, they were kept in different places in numbers of 3, 4, that's in different batches.
People there, just like that. They weren't put in one place.
Okay. So when the younger one was released, let's use the word released. They were released in batches also.
Yes.
After paying ransom in your case.
No, my brother, we paid ransom to release him.
That's what I'm saying. After paying ransom, they were released in batches.
I know of my own brother. I didn't know of others. How they were released.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, President. There's really a rescue operation with the security operation, and great secret to uncover trade officers still witness some complaints. A Kurumag wins that. Please remind them to fix indications. Well, we keep reminding them. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Daya, good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
Thank you. Daya, I want to call on the Edo people. If such a thing happen again, I want to call on the witches and abusers there to brace up. But you can only rely on them to skew our people and give us. We know the details. They don't give us sex, the rooms, everything in order. But our security person have been playing koju with these people. I don't know what it means. But every time giving us strong men and women to brace up. So if this case happen again, they go ahead and do the rescue. All right, Dayo.
All right. Hello. Very well.
This is Samuel. You see, Dayo, I want to make you to understand that sometimes I come again. Just precisely level of something was kidnapped. And this man, in President, this man, he covered with so one of the kidnappers for him, his phone, was the bundle of his phone, fell out. The man and the bomb went away. Dayo, 6 months after the incident, man, what happened?
No.
they took the phone and they went for an accident. They brought that what we saw was shocking and amazing. You know that this kidnapper, had come of some. I mean, I thought they started 2-3 years.
Please do not mention anyone's name. Issue will listen to what I'm saying.
I mean, he just paused. He just paused and he don't know what to do. And Dayo, I stopped following up the matter. And I don't think that matter went headway again.
That's the much that I can take. But I'm not sure how seeing the contact of a general on a kidnapper's phone should stop the investigation. I'm not sure how it should. Commercial break right now, though. I'll return shortly. Please stay with us.